Welcome to Untold Physio Stories podcast, your perfect commute resource with physio failures, successes, interesting cases, and more from the physio and rehab world with your hosts, Drs. Andrew Rothschild and Urson Religioso.
Topical analgesics help patients alleviate pain and reduce discomfort. I recommend and use Helix Professional Pain Relief Creams with my patients. Helix has 3 new creams they've added to their line of topical analgesics. Joining their pain relieving cream is Triactive Therapy Cream, CBD Therapy, and CBD Clinical Creams. My patients have been raving about these creams, and that's why I'm offering you an opportunity to try these in your practice. Email my exclusive promo code MMT2 to Helix at helix4pain.com to receive samples of these new professional pain relief creams and find a medical supply distributor near you. You'll get a starter kit with several samples, patient information brochures, and it's a great way to help patients and grow your practice. Just continuing our favorite pain science stories, part 2, before this holiday season is over. Andrew and I couldn't get together, so I'm just sharing mine. One of my favorite stories is basically to help patients conceptualize why their pelvis doesn't go out of place. I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that they're told their pelvis is out of place or something is rotated. They get adjusted or manipulated or some sort of muscle energy technique, essentially something that is passive, and they're told it's a quick fix. They hear or feel an actual shift, or they hear a cavitation, and then they feel better and move better. So it's definitely emphasized by not only the clinician, but since it's a simple explanation, it makes sense, and they feel better and they move better, they feel like there's a mechanical explanation for both their pain and also the treatment. However, when I'm trying to empower patients and help them realize that they're strong and their bodies don't go out of place, not necessarily, I don't emphasize that the techniques themselves don't work, because the techniques do work to help them relieve pain and feel better and move better and improve function. It's just that I don't want them to think that they need it, and I want them to think that they can self-treat and self-assess, so they don't necessarily come running to me or some other clinician that is just going to give them a quick fix. So I've heard some more than one surgeon say, but in particular an ER doc on a podcast say that when he sees patients in a head-on collision, we're talking thousands of pounds of force, very rapid, that the femur actually fractures. So to put in perspective for a patient, one of the strongest, largest bones in the body fractures before the pelvis goes out of place in a head-on collision. That means that you are very resilient and you can't easily go out of place or can't easily get put back into place with a simple rapid technique. Even if the clinician jumps on you, uses all their body weight, it's not nearly enough force to put you back in place if you were truly out of place. Another one of my favorite stories, also having to do with the SIJ, because people are always, again, told they're being put in and out of place, is that I had a couple physios in one of my courses in Ottawa several years ago, and I was talking about how the SI doesn't go in and out of place. And she said that for her master's of manual therapy in Australia, she went out of country to train, and they were very big on the SI also not going out of place. So they had fresh cadavers, and they told the 2 people to a cadaver, they told them, take apart their pelvis, and everything was removed from the pelvis except for, so none of the skin, none of the muscles, everything but the 2 iliac crests and the sacrum was left, along with just the posterior SIJ ligaments. Not a lot of other supporting structures, so just the ligaments and the sacrum and the iliac crest. And this woman, in particular, the physio, she did CrossFit, and her partner, also very fit. She said with a hammer and chisel, it took them over 2 hours to actually take the sacroiliac joint apart in a fresh cadaver. Again, without all the other supporting structures, we're talking about a very, very strong structure, something that doesn't go easily in or out of place. And again, both of these stories or analogies are great examples for a patient to actually realize how resilient they are. And again, I don't want anyone to be offended if you're listening to the story or a patient. when they hear these stories, because they can kind of get offended or like, what are you saying? These techniques don't work? No, I'm saying that you don't need these passive techniques, and there are plenty of active techniques that actually can do the same thing, just like repeated end range loading strategies, which is why I'll start with side glides or some sort of loading strategy like extension, because not only is it easier to do, the patient can replicate it at home for self-treatment. So I'm all about empowerment. I hope both of these analogies help you with your pain science education and trying to promote active strategies over passive quick fixes. Remember, if you enjoy Untold Physio Stories, you have any hilarious physio failures or interesting cases, reach out to Andrew or myself on social media. Make sure to rate Untold Physio Stories 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts, and please share. And as always, you guys have a good one. Untold Physio Stories is now sponsored by MyPT Insurance. Insurance just got easier. Through continued research, MyPT Insurance has crafted a policy that is economical and provides you with the peace of mind you need. Your extensive education, training, and experience as a PT allows you to assist clients in achieving their personal health goals. By practicing without individual professional liability insurance, you could be placing your career and future finances at risk. Whether you're a student, self-employed, or employed with a company, MyPT Insurance is here to provide affordable insurance coverage while protecting you and your patients. MyPT Insurance's plan also includes mobile coverage, which means it follows you wherever you work in the United States. Employed rates and self-employed rates are available. Visit myptinsurance.com/edge to sign up today.